Chosen ones. God is sending a woman who will heal what you've been denied. There is something I need to say to you right now, and I need you to stay with me because what I am about to share is not something you stumble upon by accident. You are here because you were meant to be here at this exact moment in your life. I am speaking directly to you, the one who has been carrying a quiet ache inside for longer than you can remember. The one who smiled through pain that nobody around you fully understood. The one who gave love generously and waited in silence, wondering if that same love would ever find its way back to you. I want you to hear this clearly. God is sending someone to you. Not just anyone. A woman. A specific woman who carries within her the exact kind of warmth, understanding, and love that you have been silently praying for. And this woman is not coming to add to your life casually. She is coming to heal what was taken from you, what was withheld from you, and what you quietly stopped believing you deserved. Type Amen if you feel this in your spirit. I know the weight you have been carrying. I know how many times you reached out for connection and found emptiness. I know how many times you trusted someone with the tender parts of yourself and walked away feeling more broken than before. That pain was real. What happened to you was real. And I am not here to dismiss any of it. I am here to tell you that every single thing you went through was seen. Every tear that fell in the quiet of your room was witnessed. Every moment you held yourself together when everything inside you wanted to fall apart, I was there watching you with a love that you cannot yet fully comprehend. And now the season is shifting. What you have been denied is not lost forever. It was delayed. It was being protected until the right vessel could carry it to you. And that vessel is a woman whose own journey has shaped her into exactly what your soul has been asking for. She has walked through her own fire. She has known her own silence and her own grief. She has been in rooms full of people and still felt completely alone. She has loved and lost and chosen to remain open even when closing herself off would have been so much easier. And because of everything she has endured, she knows how to hold space for someone the way you have always needed to be held. She is not coming to you perfect. She is coming to you whole. And there is a difference that I want you to understand deeply. Perfect is a performance. Whole is a woman who has done the work, faced her wounds, and decided to show up anyway. That is who I am sending to you. A woman who will not flinch at your depth. A woman who will not run from your realness. A woman who will sit with you in your silence and not need to fill it with noise because she understands what silence sometimes means. Type 111. If you believe God is working in your life right now, you have spent so much time wondering what was wrong with you, why love seemed to come so easily to others while you stood waiting, why the connections you formed never quite reached the depth you were longing for. I want to silence that question inside you today because nothing was ever wrong with you. You were simply not yet aligned with the one who was being prepared for you, and she was not yet aligned with you. Both of you were being shaped, stretched, and refined, so that when this meeting happens, it does not feel like luck. It feels like recognition, like coming home. You will know her, not because the circumstances are perfect, but because something inside you will settle in a way it has never settled before. The anxiety that has lived in your chest for years will quiet down. The wall you built around your heart will not feel necessary anymore. And for the first time in a long time, you will feel safe enough to be fully seen. I am not speaking to the surface of your life. I am speaking to the part of you that has been waiting in the deep, the part that still believes in something real, even after everything you have experienced. That belief is not foolishness. That belief is faith. And faith is exactly what has kept you in position to receive what is coming. Take a moment and like this video as a step of agreement, because what you agree with in faith, you open yourself to receive. There are things that were taken from you in your earlier years that left marks you did not ask for. Maybe it was a mother who was present in body but absent in warmth. Maybe it was a relationship that promised forever and delivered abandonment. Maybe it was a version of love that came wrapped in conditions so tight you could barely breathe inside it. Whatever was denied to you, whatever left that quiet wound inside your chest, I want you to know that I have not forgotten it. I have been holding that need in my hands all this time, waiting for the right moment and the right person to bring restoration. And that moment is approaching faster than you know. She is going to walk into your life in a way that may surprise you. She may not arrive in the dramatic fashion you imagined. She may come quietly, gently, the way morning light enters a room, not all at once, but gradually, until everything is illuminated. Do not overlook her, because she does not arrive with noise. Some of the most powerful healings begin in the softest moments. Type 777 if you trust God's timing. What she carries for you has been stored and protected. The patience she will show you is real. The way she will listen without judgment is genuine. The way she will choose you, not out of loneliness or convenience, but out of genuine recognition of who you are, that is something that has been cultivated over time through everything she has lived through. She has prayed prayers that sounded like yours. She has cried in the same kind of silence. She has asked the same questions about whether love like this actually exists. And I answered her the same way I am answering you now. Yes, it exists, and I am bringing it to you. I want you to also understand something important. The healing that is coming through her is not a replacement for the work you have done within yourself. It is a confirmation of it. Every time you chose to grow instead of harden, every time you chose honesty over pretending, every time you sat with your own pain and did not project it onto someone undeserving, you were preparing yourself for this. You were making room inside yourself for something genuine to land. And it is landing. There may be people around you who have not seen this version of love. People who settled for less, not because they deserved less, but because they stopped believing more was possible. Do not let their experience define the ceiling of yours. What I have for you is specific to you. It is tailored to the exact shape of what your heart has been holding space for. Type yes if you receive this today. She is also going to challenge you in the best possible way. She will reflect back to you the parts of yourself you have not yet fully embraced, not to expose you, but to invite you into a deeper version of who you are. She will see things in you that you forgot were there, strength you buried under doubt, gifts you stopped trusting, a tenderness you started hiding because the world made it feel like a liability. She will remind you that your sensitivity is not weakness. She will remind you that your depth is not too much. She will remind you that the love you have always had inside you is exactly the kind of love that deserves to be matched and not managed. I am not sending you someone to complete you. You are already complete. I am sending you someone to companion you, to walk beside you in the direction I have already ordained for your life. Someone whose presence will make the journey feel different. Not easier necessarily, but richer, fuller, more alive. There are nights you have laid awake wondering if this kind of connection was even real. If the version of love you imagined was something only found in stories. I want to speak to that wondering tonight and tell you clearly that what you imagined was not fantasy. It was vision. I placed that vision inside you because I knew what I was preparing to bring into your life. Type Amen if you believe what God has for you is real. Do not shrink yourself in preparation for her arrival. Do not start editing who you are to make yourself more acceptable. She is not coming to receive a performance. She is coming to meet the real you, the full you, the unfiltered and unpolished and genuinely beautiful you that exists when no one is asking you to be anything other than what you are. This is where so many people make the mistake. They prepare for love by becoming less of themselves out of fear that who they truly are might be too much. But I am telling you that who you truly are is exactly what she is coming to find. Do not hide it. Do not minimize it. Do not apologize for it. Stand in it. The woman I am sending to you is not afraid of realness. She has lived in enough pretending to know that what she wants is truth. And your truth, the honest and layered and sometimes complicated truth of who you are, is exactly what will draw her to you and hold her there. She is close. The distance between where you are and where she is has been narrowing in ways you cannot see, but I can. Every step you have taken in faith, every morning you chose to try again, every moment you kept your heart open despite having every reason to close it, all of it has been moving you toward her and moving her toward you. Type 222 to claim what God is sending to you. There's a divine orchestration happening behind the scenes of your life right now. Arrangements are being made that do not require your management. Circumstances are being aligned that are beyond your ability to manufacture. I am doing what only I can do, which is bringing two people together whose meeting will carry the fingerprint of purpose all over it. You will feel it when it happens. You will know. Not because it is loud, but because it is right, in a way that settles something deep inside you that has been unsettled for a very long time. Stay open. Stay faithful. Stay present in your own life because she is going to find you in the middle of it, not on the sidelines waiting, but actually living, actually moving forward, actually becoming the person I have been shaping you to be. What you have been denied is not gone, it has been held, and the one who is being sent to you carries it with her. She is almost here. Chosen ones. God is sending a woman who will heal what you've been denied. I want to continue speaking to you because there is more I need you to hear, and I do not want you to walk away from this moment without receiving all of it. You have been in a season that felt like stillness, like nothing was moving, like everyone around you was stepping into beautiful chapters while your pages seemed to stay blank. I know how heavy that feeling is. I know how many times you looked around and quietly asked, why? Why others and not you? Why now for them and seemingly never for you? I want to answer that question today. The reason your season looked still from the outside is because the most important work was happening on the inside. I was doing something in you that required silence, required waiting, required a depth of surrender that would have been impossible had I placed the blessing in your hands before you were ready to hold it without dropping it. She is not a reward for perfection. She is a gift for faithfulness. And you have been faithful in ways you do not even fully credit yourself for. Every time you chose not to become bitter, every time you chose healing over numbing, every time you chose to keep showing up for your own life, even when you felt unseen, that was faithfulness. And faithfulness is what positions you to receive. Type 111 to affirm your faith. I want to speak about what this woman is going to bring into your specific life, not in a general way, but in the way that meets the exact shape of what you have been missing. If you were denied emotional safety growing up, she is going to create a space with you where you can finally exhale, where you do not have to monitor your words or manage your reactions, where you are free to feel whatever you feel without fearing that it will cost you the relationship. That kind of safety is rare, and she carries it because she fought for it within herself first. If you were denied someone who truly listened, she is going to be the kind of woman who hears not just what you say, but what you mean, who catches the things underneath the words, who does not rush to respond, but actually sits in what you have shared long enough to understand it. You have been talking to people for years who were waiting for their turn to speak. She will be different. She will actually be there. If you were denied consistency, she is going to show up. Not perfectly, but genuinely. She is going to be the same person on the hard days that she is on the beautiful ones. She is not going to love you only when it is convenient. She is going to choose you even when choosing you requires something from her. Type 777 to receive this blessing right now. That kind of love changes a person, not because it solves every problem or removes every difficulty, but because it gives you a foundation that does not shift. And when you have that kind of foundation beneath you, you begin to move through the world differently. You stop bracing for impact. You stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. You start to actually inhabit your own life instead of standing just outside of it, watching carefully for when things go wrong. She is going to give you permission, by just being who she is, to finally come home to yourself. I also want to speak to the fear that is still living somewhere inside you. The fear that says this sounds too good. The fear that has learned from experience to protect itself by not fully believing. The fear that whispers that you have been disappointed before, and this might just be another version of that disappointment dressed in nicer language. I hear that fear. I am not dismissing it, but I want you to understand something about fear. Fear is not always a warning. Sometimes fear is just the scar tissue of old wounds reminding you that they existed. It does not mean the wound will happen again. It means your body and your heart remember what pain felt like, and they are trying to protect you from repeating it. But protection and isolation are not the same thing. I am not calling you to isolate yourself from love to stay safe. I am calling you to trust me enough to remain open while I guide what comes in and what does not. She will not hurt you the way you have been hurt before. That is not a promise that your journey with her will be without difficulty. Difficulty is part of every genuine relationship, but the specific wound, the specific denial that has lived in your chest for so long, she does not carry that for you. She carries healing for it. Type Amen if you trust God with your heart. There is also something I want to say about timing because I know you have questions about it. I know you have looked at your life and done the math and felt a pressure around how long it has taken to get here. I want to remove that pressure today. There is no such thing as too late in my hands. The arrival of what I have prepared for you is not governed by age or by the timeline the world gave you or by the comparisons you have made to others who seem to receive earlier. It is governed by alignment. And alignment has its own schedule that is more precise than any calendar you have consulted. She is coming at the exact right time. Not a moment before she is ready. Not a moment after you are prepared. The intersection of your two journeys is not an accident. It is arithmetic that I have been calculating with a care that goes beyond what you can understand from where you are standing. Trust the timing, even when it frustrates you. The frustration means you care, and caring is not the problem. Caring is good. I just want you to let that care rest in faith instead of in anxiety. Type 333 if you trust God's timing completely. I also want you to know that you are allowed to want this. You are allowed to desire a love that is real, present, healing, and lasting. Some of you have spent so long trying to appear unbothered, trying to seem like you are fine on your own, trying to protect yourself from looking needy or desperate, that you have almost talked yourself out of admitting what you genuinely long for. I want you to stop doing that. Desire placed inside you with integrity is not weakness. The longing for genuine connection that you carry is not something to be ashamed of. It is something I placed inside you because I always intended to answer it. You do not have to pretend you do not want what you want. I already know you want it, and I am already in the process of bringing it. You are not too much for wanting love this deeply. You are exactly right. Type yes if you are ready to receive what God has for you. As she comes into your life, I want you to be present for it. Not so focused on analyzing whether it is real that you miss the experience of it actually happening. Not so busy protecting yourself that you do not allow yourself to be found. I want you to be available, emotionally, spiritually, present in your own life in a way that makes space for what is arriving. This is not about performing openness. This is about actually being open. There is a difference. Performing openness means you go through the motions while keeping the real parts of yourself locked away just in case. Actually, being open means you allow what is real inside you to be accessible to someone who has proven themselves worthy of it. She will prove herself. Give her the space to do so. I have seen the version of your life that is ahead. I have seen what it looks like when you are walking beside the woman I have prepared for you. And I want to tell you that it is beautiful, not in a perfect way, not in a way that has no complexity, but in the way that things are beautiful when they are true. When they are real, when they carry the weight of two people who chose each other with full knowledge of what choosing means. That is what is coming for you. You have earned nothing in the sense that love is not a wage. But you have positioned yourself through faithfulness, through growth, through refusing to harden, through staying open in a world that gives you every reason to close yourself off. And that positioning has placed you in the exact location where what I am sending can find you. She is almost here. Do not give up now. Do not let doubt talk you out of your position when you are this close. Do not let weariness make you step out of alignment right before the arrival of what you have been waiting for. Stay. Be still in your trust even while you continue to move forward in your life. The healing that has been denied to you is not gone. It was stored. It was kept. It was waiting inside a woman who was being shaped for you the same way you were being shaped for her. And the God who sees all of it, who holds all of it, who has been orchestrating all of it, is not finished with your story. Type Amen if you receive this word today. Your next chapter is not an empty page. It is already written. And she is in it, walking beside you, healing what was broken, filling what was empty, loving you in the specific and unhurried and genuine way that you have always deserved. Receive it, believe it, and stay ready. Because what God has denied, no one can deny. And what God has sent for you is already on its way.